Bill of materials, no question about it on there. We talked about histamine. FDA's action level is 50 ppm in 2 subs or 500 ppm in 1 sub. I'm hearing rumors that FDA is going to reduce those two to be 35 ppm in 2 subs and 200 ppm as a health hazard for 1 sub. So you may see a change sometime in the future regarding the action level for histamine. For testing, this is part of the hazard guide, but it says you must pull a minimum of 18 fish for histamine. It allows you to composite up to 3 fish and do 1 testing of 3 fish. But when you do that, your critical limit changes from 50 ppm to 17 ppm. So you got to be aware of that also. And again, we were talking about word tests for histamine in large number of toxic forming fish. They're saying the lower anterior, I mean up toward the head, portion of the loin, not the belly flap, is likely to provide the best information about histamine content. It's probably very hard to get the sample on small fish to do this. Now, whether they're going to change, or I don't know how you take your sample to deep cut. A lot of plants just take a frozen fish with a bandsaw and cut out a deep cut. That's going to be it. Whether it will change with the small fish, I don't know. But this is where they're recommending that. Something like that is what is in the past. And right, maybe on large fish here, you're talking. If I can find my arrow over here. They're really talking about down in this part, down in here, not down here, not in this belly flap area here, but up here in this area is what they're talking about. Some of the highlights of the new guide. One, they're recommending that processors provide, we call it active training for their employees that does sensory testing.
2.5%.
That is one of the things that we're accomplishing this week here. That FDA should come and do an inspection and say, have you ever had formal training? And you can say, yes, I did. I just had it here a couple of weeks ago, or whatever it would be. In terms of looking, you said 18 fish for histamine. They also recommend that you look at a minimum of 118 fish per life doing sensory testing on them. And if you find more than 2 fish with odors of decomposition, you're supposed to reject that lot, or if you don't, they're basically saying you must run histamine on a minimum of 60 additional fish of that lot.
100 kita. 2.5% po ito. Ano nabit ako yun?
And when a sample is sent, say from here, somewhere in the U.S., it'll go to some port in the U.S., could be Seattle, where I'm from, Los Angeles, New York, Miami, wherever it may be. If FDA decides to sample that lot, then they will go out and collect that sample, and it will go to one of these FDA labs right here. There's actually one more. There's one in Boston. But your product, it could go to New York, it could go to Atlanta, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Los Angeles, San Francisco, or Seattle for analysis on here. Usually when FDA samples a lot or decide entry coming in, they will sample usually only one line item. There may be multiple line items in the shipment container, but they usually will only sample one. Many times it will be the largest lot size or line in there. Not always, but a lot of times it is. It's the largest lot. So let's say that they sample this line item out here to the right. The guidelines. If FDA finds 2 subsamples with 20% or greater decomposition, well, if they sample 24 cans, each of those cans are from a different case, and they find 2 of the cans with odors of decomp, the sample has failed. Only takes 2 cans on there. This guideline is also for fresh frozen, where you may have 5 pieces in a subsample, or 24 subsamples. So you may have that also. But the sample would fail if they find 2 cans or more odors of decomposition. They may also decide to check for histamine. They don't normally. If they get a sample in where they're not finding a lot odor-wise, but the quality looks to them to not be the best, they may say, let's go run 6 of the 24, just to see, just to be sure. If they find 2 or more cans in that shipment, then the shipment gets rejected, and all of those other lines that no one has even looked at, not even FDA, also get rejected because they consider it to be a commingled lot until proven different on there. Your options, if you get a rejection, is re-export the product. That happens many, many times. You can destroy the product. Nobody's going to do that. They got a lot of resources tied up in it. Or you can see about getting independent parties, third-party testing of the unexamined lines that haven't been looked at. No matter which of these 3 options you take, it costs somebody money. It's the bottom line. It's gotten much harder for FDA to approve any third-party testing anymore. You must, 2 questions you have to ask FDA, or have to provide FDA if before they will even approve a resorting of the other line items. First thing you have to say to them, you have to tell them where the problem was, where it occurred, and what have you done to correct it. And then you have to tell them, why are the other line items different from the one we looked at? These are the 3 of the biggest things you have to provide FDA before, otherwise they said, we won't even allow it to happen on there. It's gotten very hard to get FDA to approve any third-party testing anymore. Leave it at that on there. With the new guide, some of the new changes. We talked the histamine testing, where to pull the sample is one. The number of fish, if you should find over 50 or higher ppm, or you find sensory, you've got to test more. Sensory examinations. Again, 118 fish. If you find more than 2 out of the 118,